Hina Ido says, "Howdy, Pastor Mike. Howdy. Don't questions like 2 Kings 5. Oh no, this is one of those where we have like 4 different passages of scripture. I don't have time to look them all up. Don't questions like 2 Kings 5:27, 2 Kings 9:8, and Exodus 12:29 contradict Ezekiel 18:20 that says that sons cannot be punished for the sins of their fathers. Love your videos." Okay. All right, let me do my best to do this. And just so you guys know, for my sake, when you have a lot of scripture passages, this isn't as tough as some. Sometimes it's like 5-6 passages of scripture, different books, different contexts. That's a little much for a Q&A. It's nice if you could bring it down a bit. But the Exodus passage, 18:20. I'm not even sure if this is the passage you meant. Oh, Ezekiel 18:20. It's not the passage you meant. You said Ezekiel, not Exodus. 18. "The soul who sins shall die. The son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father, nor the father suffer for the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon himself, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon himself." I think this is talking about the ultimate justice of God on a person. And it's also the ideal in the law, is that you punish people for their own sins. You do not punish them for the sins of their parents in that sense. But you're saying, hey, is that perhaps contradictory with what we read in other places? And a real 2 Kings 5:27. One of the challenges for it is, "Therefore the leprosy of Naaman shall cling to you and your descendants forever. So he went out from his presence like a leper, like snow." I think the simplest answer for this is to simply not regard Naaman's descendants as being punished, but as being damaged or harmed because of the sin of their father. And it's clear in scripture that you will suffer for the sins of your father, but I mean, if in suffering in a generic sense, but being punished for them is a different story. So like in the flood, there were babies who died, but I wouldn't look at the flood as punishing them. I would look at them as being, as enduring suffering and even death as a result of the sins of others. This is significant to not view it as punishment upon them. The punishment would be on those who were culpable for the sins that they had committed. And so Naaman has a disease, and this disease, leprosy, by the way, was a term that was used for a wide variety of skin diseases, not just the modern term leprosy. It almost should say, therefore, a disease, the disease of Naaman. And so, yeah, leprosy is super generic. It could be referring to lots of different diseases. It probably means that that he got a disease that is also hereditary. Genetically, it's gonna cling to his descendants for that same reason. So I would look at them as suffering the collateral damage results of the sin of another, but not being punished by them. Let me give you another example. You have an employee who's a terrible employee. They're stealing from the company. They're abusive. They show up late, and you fire them. And what if the employee comes to you and they say, "Look, I get it, you fired me, but you're punishing my kids because now I don't have money to put food on the table. So you're punishing them for my sin." And I think you would then go, "Oh, now I see what Mike means." There's a difference between them suffering because of your sin and them being punished because of your sin. That's how I would try to navigate that one.